2024 has been a good year for me. So I've hit my goals, I have reached some pretty major milestones in my life, and looking back, I know that I'm a better person at the end of 2024 than I was at the beginning of 2024, which is all you can really ask for. But now is the time to look forward to 2025 and to ask yourself the question, what do I need to do over the next year to continue to improve? I have 5 goals that I think will have a huge impact on my life and will make 2025 my best year yet. So I'm going to share these with you today in the hope that maybe they'll inspire you to commit to similar goals and to have a great 2025. But I do have to say that the last 2 goals are really important because they tie everything together, and I really think that by following these last 2 goals, that will increase your chance of having the best year yet, a really good 2025. So please do not skip over those ones. Let's get going. When it comes to self-improvement, there are really 3 areas that you can focus on. There's health, wealth, and relationships. The first goal is going to be a health-related goal. What I've learned is that even a small change in your fitness can have a massive impact on the quality of your life. So I was talking to a family friend just yesterday. He's in his 70s now, and after walking up the stairs and feeling out of breath, he decided to change that and to get into stair running, which is basically running up and down the stairs to build fitness. And he's been doing this for 2 or 3 weeks now, 2 or 3 times a week, so not many sessions. And he says that he can already run up and down the stairs 10 times without feeling out of breath. And away from going up and down the stairs, he says that just in general life, he feels better, he feels more agile. And that's just focusing a few times a week on something as simple as running up and down the stairs. Now, this is probably a bit of an extreme example, and I'm sure you're not in your 70s, but the point is still accurate. It only takes a little bit of focus to really improve your fitness and to really improve your life. So if we go back to goals for 2025, I can't tell you what your fitness goal needs to be for 2025. That is really dependent on your current situation. So maybe you want to lose weight, maybe you want to build some muscle, maybe you want to improve your cardiovascular health so that you can run a 10K, or maybe you just want to eat healthier and start intermittent fasting. Right, for me personally, I want to build muscle in 2025 because over 2024, I've lost weight. I feel like I've already mastered that if I do need to lose weight in the future, I have the expertise, the experience to be able to do that effectively. But what I do not have is the experience in building muscle and building a bigger body. So that's something I'm going to focus on in 2025. So take a minute, think about where you currently are in your fitness journey and what goal makes sense for 2025, and write that down, and we'll get back to that later. Okay, so you have health out of the way. Now it's time to move on to wealth. Again, your wealth goal is going to be completely dependent on your current situation, but as guidance, I do think that most successful people go through a certain wealth journey, and this may help you with deciding what wealth goal you need for 2025. To begin with, I think it's important to get a good understanding of your finances. Basically, audit yourself. How much are you spending each month? How much money do you earn each month? How much of your earnings go towards taxes, right? Once you have this understanding, you can move on to step 2, which is to control your finances. So now you want to make adjustments to get you in a positive position, basically earning more than you spend. And this can be done a couple of ways. You can either increase the money you earn, you can cut back and start reducing your expenditures, or you can kind of do a mixture of both, which I think is ideal. Step 3 is to then build an emergency fund. So I have a separate video on this. There are tons of videos online about building an emergency fund, why it's so important. And I fully agree with this. I do think it's really important. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're actually going to need a big chunk of money very, very quickly. And the emergency fund just helps you get that. If you do not already have an emergency fund, then maybe that's a good idea for a goal in 2025 to build one. And step 4 is once you have your emergency fund and once you're in that positive position where you are earning more than you're spending, you take that extra money and you use that money to make even more money. This is normally done by buying assets which give you some sort of return. So think about buying a house and then getting the rental income, that as an example, right? Or maybe you invest in an index fund and you get some sort of return on investment. If you can get your money to start earning even more money, then you really are on a fast track towards financial freedom. So based on these 4 steps, think about where you currently sit and then come up with an appropriate goal to move through these steps and improve your wealth. For me, this year I built an emergency fund and I've started to invest some of that excess money into an index fund. So in 2025, I'm going to continue to go into that investment route, right? Continue to take the excess money and use that to make even more money. So now you have health and wealth under your belt, it's time to move on to a relationship goal. Perhaps the most impactful goal in terms of fulfillment. Your relationships are so important. Whether it's family, friends, a partner, your relationships play a massive role in how successful you are and in how happy you are. So it only makes sense that we also have a relationship goal set up for 2025. For me, I am married and I have a very good relationship with my family, but friendships is an area that I would like to improve. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you'll know that I struggle with being an introvert, with social anxiety, and those are 2 areas that I really want to continue to work on. So in 2025, I'm going to be putting myself out there more. I'm going to be joining clubs and trying to meet new people. So ask yourself, what will your 2025 relationship goal be? Is it you want to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Is it you want to reconnect with a brother or sister you haven't spoken to for a couple of years? Or maybe it's the same as me and you just want to grow your friendship circle and therefore you're going to join clubs, you're going to put yourself out there and meet new people. Okay, awesome. So you now have health, wealth and relationships. You've got those 3 key goals. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said that the last 2 goals would really help tie everything together and increase your chance of success in 2025 and make 2025 your best year yet. And that is why rule number 4 is to cross out every single goal you've just written and rewrite it. Chances are, and I still do this, I still have to remind myself not to do this, chances are you have written down goals that are based on the output, right? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to get new friends. These are all based on the output, what the outcome is going to be. I want you to rewrite your goals based on the inputs rather than the outputs. This goes back to being in control again. You can't guarantee that you'll have more friends next year, but you can guarantee that you'll put yourself out there and you'll join 3 clubs next year, as an example. So does that make sense, right? Cross out all the goals you've just written and rewrite them so that they're focused on the inputs, things you can control. This will have a number of benefits. Firstly, it will help with motivation over the next few weeks. Right, how often is it that it gets to New Year, we set goals, and then halfway through January, we're not seeing the outcome, we stop following that goal, and suddenly our important goals for the whole year are dead after just a few days. The benefit of setting goals for 2025 that are based on inputs rather than outputs is that these goals will stay relevant throughout the year. When it gets to the middle of January and you haven't lost weight, that doesn't matter because that's not your goal. Your goal is, as an example, count your calories every day and stay in a calorie deficit. That's something that you can do today, you can do tomorrow. It's something that's going to be important every single day. So when it gets to the middle of January, you haven't lost weight, you don't need to lose heart because you're still on track. This will help massively in terms of motivation and sticking to your goals for a much longer period of time. The second reason why focusing on inputs rather than outputs is so useful is because it keeps you focused on the important things, the things that will actually move the needle. So imagine you're a salesperson and you want to reach your sales quota, right? Focusing on selling better is not going to help. Focusing on talking to more customers, focusing on giving more sales pitches for qualifying more leads, the inputs, these are the things that will actually move the needle and help you reach your sales quota, right? It's inputs, not outcomes. Now it's time for the final goal to tie everything together. And that is to learn and then adjust based on you. And I'll repeat that. adjust based on you. If you watch anything online, it's always, this is the best way to lose weight. This is the best way to make money. But that's just not true, right? It might be the best way for them to make money, but who's to say if it's the best way for you, right? You're an individual. Everyone is different. You won't know what the best strategy is until you get stuck in and you learn for yourself what works for you. That is literally the name of this channel, and I believe in this fully. Advice online can be a great starting point and it can get you going, but at some point you need to take a step back and evaluate, is this the best strategy? Can I sustain this? Is there something that I can tweak which will work better for me? You watch any video online about how to make money, and it's almost always quit your job, set up a business, become an entrepreneur, right? But maybe that's not the best way for you. Maybe you don't want to quit your job. Maybe you actually enjoy your job. So rather than becoming an entrepreneur, maybe you should focus on or investigate becoming an intrapreneur, which is basically an entrepreneur but within someone else's company. Now, as a side note, if you think that might be something interesting, I would recommend you read the book Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. There is a section in that book which talks about being an intrapreneur, and it was really interesting. Anyway, I hope you get my point that yes, follow other people's advice, but make sure to assess whether it truly fits with you. If you can set yourself a goal now that over 2025, every couple of months, you sit down, you assess your progress so far, you assess how can I tweak things to be even more successful, then I truly believe you will have your best year yet, and 2025 will just be absolutely magnificent. So I hope that helped. Good luck in 2025 and Happy New Year.